Okay, Brian, well, again, let's jump right in and talk a little bit more about the market. In the previous episodes, we've talked a little bit about the difference between microdermabrasion devices, and now um, there's other devices people may get confused with in the market that are called diamond tip or crystal free systems. Maybe you could talk a little bit about those options.
Sure, Eric. Microdermabrasion, as we've discussed, works by moving a volume of crystals, abrasive crystals, across the skin. And those crystals impact the skin and take the skin tissues, oil, and other debris with them and go into the waste crystal bag. Over the past many years, these crystal-free or diamond tip units have been introduced to the market. I think they really grew out of the frustration of people that were having clogging problems and performance problems with some of the entry-level or cheaper crystal-based microdermabrasion units. I think also people thought, well, if I don't have to pay for crystals, then I'm saving money on each treatment. And, crystal-free or diamond tip system could be adequate for an entry-level operator. But from my perspective, they're really nothing more than abrasive chunks of metal or industrial diamonds, in the case of diamond tip devices, glued to the end of a handpiece with a hole in the middle of it. And these are attached to a base device, which is a small vacuum compressor, generally much smaller than what you would have in a normal microdermabrasion device. And the operator needs to take that handpiece and basically move it across the skin. And as those abrasive crystals on the end of the handpiece scrape the skin tissue away, the vacuum in the middle would suck that into some kind of canister. In our experience, you get a much less consistent, reliable procedure from these crystal-free devices. And that it's really operator dependent. Depends on how hard the operator is pressing that handpiece onto the skin. And depending, each of the manufacturers is going to have a different abrasiveness of the crystals that are, or the diamonds that are metal chips that are glued to the end of that tip. So it can be very harsh on the skin as well, and you end up seeing streaking and an inconsistent treatment.
Got it. So failure rates on those machines and the price point on those machines, are they comparable to microdermabrasion, or is there some other advantage we're not identifying here?
Well, in general, they're much less expensive, and that it's a small pump that isn't designed to draw crystals through the air. The handpieces are very simple, and the tips are relatively cheap and available from Asian and other foreign manufacturers. One of the other problems with the devices is the skin tissue gets lodged permanently underneath those crystals or abrasive particles on the tip. And you really need, since this is a permanent tip, you're not replacing it much like a microdermabrator that would have a disposable tip. You have to clean that skin tissue out of those handpieces between every treatment. And the crystal cost in a microdermabrasion treatment these days is right around $1. So if you can imagine, you can't spend too much time cleaning one of those crystal-free tips before you're actually spending more money on a crystal-free device than you are on a crystal-based device. I think the most important issue, though, with these crystal-free microdermabrator devices, is that the clients that are coming to you are expecting to receive the classic microdermabrasion treatment, the crystal-based treatment. And I think the crystal-based microdermabrasion, I know it's much more effective, efficient, and reproducible. And your clients believe that it has a much higher perceived value. So the extra dollar you spend on crystals will translate into tens of dollars in client satisfaction.
Those are very important distinctions that I'm sure every customer would probably like to know about before being put under a diamond tip or crystal-free option. And I'll tell you from my perspective, if I knew that someone was treating me with a tip previously used on somebody else's skin, I'm not so sure I'd be excited to stay very long.
Absolutely. So here at Dermaglow, we know you're looking to attract high-end clientele. You want them to return for follow-up treatments, and you want them to spread the word about the performance and the results that they receive from the device. So your time's money, and the time spent cleaning these crystal-free tips is time you could be spending earning money with clients. They're expecting real and effective results. We really believe that crystal-based microdermabrasion is the best way to go.
And with the right tool for the job, crystal-based microdermabrasion delivers a consistent, reliable, beautiful result. And I just want to point something out that I think a lot of people have identified in the market, and maybe this is a good place to summarize that the effects of all these lower end microdermabrasion devices and the different treatment options and the different material people could be using to abrade the skin has created some confusion, or a lot of confusion in the market, and the perception that microdermabrasion may not be the most reliable treatment out there, where in fact with these other options presented, it's actually been the problem. A proper microdermabrasion device administered correctly still produces the best result, as it always did, and the confusion has hurt the professional esthetician and that market. Is that a fair summary?
It really is, and that's why I got into the microdermabrasion business in the first place, was trying to combat the dozens of machines that were coming in from all over around the world that were substandard, subquality, and having a negative impact on the market in general. At the end of the day, microdermabrasion is one of the highest, most requested non-invasive cosmetic procedures requested in the United States and around the world. And done right, it provides dramatic results.
Awesome. Well, we'll have more to talk about on that subject as we go through our series here, but thank you again, Brian. And again, folks, if you have any additional comments or questions or subject matter you'd like to see us talking about on future episodes, please like and comment and subscribe, and let us know what you're thinking. We'd be happy to accommodate and deliver meaningful content as we go forward. Thanks, and have a great day, folks.